Three, two, one. And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm D.I.O. Let's talk. I'd like to present to you my guest for today. He is a sensei, and in my opinion, number one real estate productive coach right now in New Jersey.
I love it. Yeah.
Welcome, Sekou Pyle. Welcome to the show,
What
bro.
up? What up?
you
What
doing,
up?
man?
What up?
I'm excited. to have-
DIOTALK.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here, man. Nervous.
First of all, I'm nervous, right? I don't get to be around like the royalty there, man. Look at the coat of arms behind you. You got the two lions and shit. It's all good.
It's the battle, the hustle every day, the grind. This is what it's about.
There it is. We take no days off in our hustle, man. So I dig it, man. I dig it, man. Dream and stuff, inspire, obtain. That's that action, man. And that's all we talk about at the Appointment Academy is taking action. So we love it.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, the Appointment Academy. This is something I was part of my wife like a week ago. And I was, in and out. But the times I was stayed in with her, I learned so much. And I'm not even a real estate agent. I learned so much. And it's not just techniques, but you have this way of lifting people and looking the positive side for every negative. Like one thing I've learned that before I witnessed it was like you share a technique of basically ignore the no, let that build up, and me doing this, creating this platform, I've received so much snow that to hear you say don't worry about the no's. The more no's you get, the more experience you get, it'll be the most of you'll get more clients in the future. And oh man, look at
your eyes light up, man.
That blew up my mind because it's something I continue to tell my wife about, but to hear actually somebody say it and speak it to reality gives me reassurance that I'm doing something good, man.
Dude, man, it's a fundamental, man. When we're kids, man, that's the first word we hear. First word we hear, the first word we know, the first word that we feel safe and comfortable with is no, right? You walk towards the stove and the stove is on. 9 parents are going to jump out of nowhere like ninjas and be like, no, don't touch, no, right? And so that's the safest word we know. It is what repeats over and over in our head. Guarantee you went to meet your wife for the very first time. The first thing she said to you was no. Nah, I'm all right, get away, this and that. It's a little bit of resistance in our world leads to a better connection as far as I'm concerned, right? So you need the no. Every conversation that you have starts with a little bit of no in it, right? And then when the bridge is made between that initial no and the need, that's when it really becomes valuable, man. And so if I meet you and I'm like, yeah, man, I see that you're selling your house, and you're like, look, son, don't even try it. I'm going to do this myself. I don't want to deal with a real estate agent. You guys are all crazy. Well, that doesn't make you special. That just puts you in line with everyone else, right? And whatever you're selling, if you're selling refrigerators, if you're selling coffee cups, the first thing that the person is going to say is no, because they haven't even thought about what value you might create. They haven't even heard your proposition yet. And so what we found in the Appointment Academy is that if you ask one more question, this is actually science. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what scientist, I don't remember where we heard it, but this is actually science. The science says that if you ask one more question past no matter what the question is, no matter what it is, that you have an 88% chance of engaging in a sale conversation with the person. I mean, that's deep. That's 88%. Like 88%, you can't even get schoolwork done at an 88% success rate.
Definitely. Yeah.
You walk into Walmart, right, and the first thing that happens, somebody's standing there, and they're like, "Hi, welcome to Walmart. How can I help you?" Or Macy's, or Bloomingdale, or whatever. You walk into one of these places, there's somebody standing right there, asking you if you want help. And 95%, maybe even 99% of the people that walk in walk right past them, right? Don't even acknowledge them. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Leave me alone. That study showed that if that person at the front asked just one more question, did you know TVs were on sale today? The person would engage in a conversation with them. I'm not here for TVs. Well, what are you here for? I'm looking for socks. Oh, that's right over here in section 5. And right? We have to sort of assess what we think success is. And most people think success is slamming the football down when you go across the touchdown, when you do a touchdown, when you're in the end zone. Success is 5 more yards, 3 more yards. Success is 1 more yard, right? It's just, as long as we're moving forward, that's success. Yeah. If I don't have to take yards off the board, I'm good. Can I curse on this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's why I created my own show.
Yeah. My bad. Kids are around me looking at me. I'm like, oh.
No, man. Definitely. I like what you're saying. What a lot of people define success as money.
Right.
But yet what you're teaching is you could basically, success is moving forward, achieving, doing something better for yourself. And once you find that, you're very unstoppable. You can't obtain anything.
Yeah. You can't beat me.
Exactly.
My mindset is you can't beat me. I'm gonna either win or I'm gonna learn how to win. And that's it. That's how I operate. And so where other people get a loss and they spiral because they get a loss, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be like, oh, snap. You know what? I'm going to watch that right hand next time.
Yeah.
Because every time he dips it, I get caught with the left. So I'm going to watch the right hand next time so I can knock him the hell out. Like, all of it is a step-by-step system that if we were paying attention, we're already doing 90% of the system anyway. We're just doing it in the negative, right? We keep telling ourselves crazy stuff, right? Like, so, I'm not a college graduate. I didn't do college. I didn't, I tell people all the time I graduated summa cum laude from UCLA. And they're all like, oh, my God, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, the University of the Corner of Lenox Avenue, right? And so there is no pass fail on the corner of Lenox Avenue, right? You either understand what's going on, you either understand the universe and you pay attention to the universe, or you get run over, and that's it, right? If you look the wrong way when you cross the street, the bus is going to hit you. So it is better to look both ways before crossing. That's what I was taught. That's what you were taught. We were all taught to look both ways when crossing the street. If you were to ask your average human being crossing a one-way street, whether or not they look both ways when they cross the one-way street, in their mind they'll say yes, but in the actuality they'll only look in the direction that the traffic is coming from. That's not where the accident is happening. The accident is happening in both ways.
And it's unfortunate I have to say this in a way, but that's like that old school mentality. And it's unfortunate. It's not old school. It's supposed to be just normal, right?
It should be universal, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a big problem with society nowadays, in my opinion. And I'm open to be wrong about it, but nowadays,
I think you're right.
Yeah, nowadays
I support you on that.
Yeah, thank you. And nowadays we have so much in our face.
Yep.
We have so much in our face that to be successful, it's kind of really common sense. Is stop procrastinating, be vigilant, like you're saying. Look at your surroundings, look at the changings. If you're not evolving in life, you're not progressing. Just you see it. It's telling you,
dude. Say it like it is. If you ain't growing, you're dying, and that's just the reality. Look, your hat, dream, inspire, obtain, D.O.
Yes.
Dream, inspire, obtain, right? So, dream, I want it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people I have to force to say what they want? It's crazy. There is this weird sort of mentality that we don't deserve some of the stuff that we want, et cetera, et cetera. I ask agents all the time, if you could build a business, if I'll fund your business. Let's say I'll fund your business, 100% fund it. All you have to do is tell me what you want to do. Show me your mission. Break down your mission statement, your vision, your values, your beliefs, and then show me how every client gets treated. I get crickets. Like nobody responds.
It's
Somebody in the fourth grade killed their brain.
it's the same thing. I try to sponsor uh sometimes upcoming entrepreneurs, right? Like as you know, I have my own t-shirt printing company. So I was like, hey, I'll sponsor your t-shirts to promote your business. But tell me what's your business is. What's your dream? What do you want? And the response is, I want to make money. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but I have a problem with that.
But it's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're lying.
Yeah.
They're lying. Yeah, I don't have a problem when people say it, and I'm responding the exact same way
Yeah.
you do. It's like, okay, yeah, this is that, but you already know that they're full of crap. You already know that they have no vision, and the second word, inspire, right? So I take that as, if I have a mission, it's to change the world. It is to
Yes.
change the life of the person that I am working with or working for.
Yes.
I want to inspire change. I want to transform them, right? And so if I was to ask a real estate agent what their goal is for the year, and this is to be the God's honest truth, this is the number one answer I get. Well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, how do you not know what your goal? Like, why are you in business? Right? And so you hear me all the time. I relate real estate back to a bakery. I relate our business back to a bakery. If you're around me at all, I'm always talking about bakery. It's partially because I'm a fat dude and I like baked goods. And other part is that it
That
is
is so funny. That's so funny. When I grew up in Puerto Rico, right? And everywhere's a bakery. Everywhere's a bakery. So
and
I
it's
get
a
it.
system.
Yes.
It's those bakeries are a system, right? My niece just said I have to say pudgy. I'm not allowed to say I'm a fat dude, so I'm a pudgy dude. Right? So check this out. You own a bakery, right? And you're down the street from another bakery. Puerto Rico's a perfect example. Mm-hmm. You own a bakery, you're down the street, cross the street from another bakery. Why are people coming into my bakery? Well, first things first, to have a bakery, you got to have baked goods. You got to have a system, right? So you can't wait till the morning to start raising your dough, because your dough won't be ready until the afternoon, and then your window won't be prepared and things like that. And you're out of focus. Everyone else is selling bread and bagels and empanadas and all that shit at 9 a.m. and you are not selling it until 1. Nobody gives a crap about your bakery, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You got to get in the night before. You got to proof your dough and have it ready for you. You got to get in early in the morning and start your baking so that you can fill up your window by the time the rest of the world is walking by your window. And then you got to open your door, and then you have to sell it. So the best thing that you could do as an agent is get rid of the ego, right? Of I don't know what I want to do, this and that. I'd rather have you say, I want to be the best agent in the world. I want to figure out how to be the best agent in the world.
I'd rather have cockiness than have no answer at all.
Yeah. And I don't know. Because it's a lie. It's a lie. I asked you what you want to do. At least tell me you want to make money. But you're not even saying that. Yeah. Right? Most people will be like, because it's socially acceptable, they call that humility. They call that being humble. I have no time or space to be humble. What Kobe used to say is, if you want to win, you come play with me. Mm-hmm. Any other result, you can play with anybody else. That's crazy. But that's the mindset. That's the mindset that I'm going to go with every time. If I walk into a spot, if I walk into a restaurant, right, I'm not going to, if I have my choice between a 5-star Michelin restaurant and somebody named Joe that shows up when the hell he wants to, I'm going to the 5-star Michelin every single time. But if Joe knows me, knows what I like, has it ready for me, and has top-notch service, I don't give a fuck how many stars he's got. I'm going to Joe
Yeah,
every single time. Right?
exactly.
It's that experience, man, that helps it. So when I ask an agent, what do you want? I want to hear, I want to be the best. If you tell me I want to make money, I'm like, you can make money at McDonald's.
You could get a 9 to 5.
you
And
can make, you can make money anywhere.
I was telling my wife this, like if you're investing, um, because investing in the academy, it's like stocks, but you don't lose.
Yes.
You don't have the
Yes.
risk of go up and now in flux. No, you invest your money in the appointment academy, you're gonna win always. Now,
It's going to
determine that,
create
yeah,
content.
yeah.
Yeah.
Determine how the individual uses it to their advantage. They lose on their own because
Yes.
the system is not created for you to lose; it's for you to win. It's you being persistent, taking initiative. It's giving you clarity. It's basically structuring your mind on. All right, you have this idea, but you don't know what it's mold up. So it's helping you mold it. You know, I meet a lot of because I help. I work with my wife. I meet a lot of real
Right.
estate agents, and they're focused on making money because they're
Yeah.
real estate. You have the advantage of making large sums of money. Okay, but how do you get there?
Yeah.
You can't be a real estate if you're not waking up early.
Nope.
You can't be a real estate agent if you're not hustling uh, behind somebody, taking initiative and speaking to people. you know and sometimes they you had this work class within the system, and where post something.
Yep.
You had every I was in a room with my wife with numerous other of it agents, and they're trying to create this whole crazy and how to post it. And it was I felt overwhelmed of happiness because I'm seeing people on how their mind, the machine, how it's moving, but they're getting so complicated. And I tell my wife, and they,
Make a mess.
yeah, and they're like, we don't, they're showing you art, but they don't know how to present that art. And
Right.
sometimes it's so simple. And I saw what you wrote, you gave options, right? And I told my wife, just first of all, just be direct.
Yep.
Be something that 90% of ads and other entrepreneurs, other businesses are not doing to you. Just be direct. That's what we need. Just give them direct, ask them the question, boom. She got a couple of responses. It was so simple. It wasn't, this creating a whole background and how the styles of the letters have to be. Just be direct. That's what he's telling you. Just be direct.
Ask.
Yeah.
Ask what the people want to see. I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. I'm gonna be 100 with you, right? Most of us were our most creative, most productive when we were in the fourth grade.
Yeah.
Most of us. The fourth grade mind is one of the most divergent minds in the world, right? So to your point, if I was to ask a room full of adults what you can do with a paperclip, I'd get maybe 100 different responses. Maybe. Probably 10 of them are the same response, just said in different words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way our brain works, we're focused on reality. We're focused on fixing things. We're focusing on solving problems and puzzles and things like that. The way that a fourth grader looks at that same question, what can you do with a paperclip? I'd get hands that were raised immediately, and instead of coming up with ideas, they'd be like, how big is the paperclip? What color is it? What's it made out of? Because they don't think like we do. They're not trying to put a square thing into a square hole because that's what society tells us to do. They're like, what else can I do with this square peg? Because I don't even want to put it away. I want to play with it, right? It's like it's the freedom that not worrying about the results give you, right? No one has told them that they couldn't make a spaceship out of a paperclip.
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point, it's like, well, shit, I can do anything I want with a paperclip. I come up with a million things.
See,
So when I tell people, oh,
when you
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you.
No, no.
When you ask me about paperclip, the first two things that come to my mind is the obvious reason for a paper, and the other one's to pick a lock.
There you go.
Because I'm always trying to see things as tools. How can it benefit me? And the goal is to get out of the box and be
The
free.
goal is to get out of the box. Here's something. All right, for everybody listening, if they're in sales and they're struggling to create transactions, I'll tell you the number one thing that is stopping most people from creating transactions. They don't fucking care about the other person.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so what happens is that you get locked in this fucking struggle of trying to prove that you are the best, of trying to prove that you've got all of the goods, or trying to prove that this and that. The very best salespeople in the world, and I say this all the time, are know nothing agents. They don't know shit. And I have a phrase at the Appointment Academy: the less you know, the more you sell. And people are like, but I've gone to school for 6 whole weeks, and I've got my real estate license, and I've got little letters behind my name, CBE and CBAR, all of those things. All of that doesn't mean shit. None of it means shit. You know what it means? It means that you have resources. And the only thing that you can give me is access to your resources. So why don't you just ask me what kind of resources I could use? So the best real estate agent in the world asks this question. This is, if you're listening, if you're taking notes, this is the best sales question you could ask. Is that important to you? You're selling me a shirt, a hat, or whatever, and you give me a snapback, right? You want to give me a snapback. You ain't even selling me. You want to give me a snapback. But you don't ask me how big my freaking head is and where I am more comfortable with a fitted 8.5, 9. I got a big ass head, right? So I don't like snapbacks because why? You know why, right? Wait, why? Because I got to put it all the way on the last freaking dot in order to fit my big head. This is fitting me tight, right? So if you're in tune with your client base, there's a real easy formula that we do at the Appointment Academy, ABC, right? And so if you're in sales, if you saw Glengarry Glen Ross, ABC is always be closing, right? I say you're an asshole if you're not doing that, right? So you should close in your sentences. If you ask 100 agents what closing means, boo. So always be closing is their motto, but they have no idea what closing is. So I'm like, you know what? Forget just real estate agent. Ask any salesperson what closing is, and they'll be like, it's when you get them to buy, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, so always get them to buy? Is that what always be closing means? That's not what it means. You know what closing is just the tone of your voice. If I use my language correctly, and I'm going to use my hands to show you, I'm going to close always. It's just how you tone your voice down, right? And so ABC, instead of always be closing, really needs to be, because you should always be closing anyway, right? You should do. That's the tone of my voice. What ABC really needs to be is attunement, buoyancy, and clarity, right? And I repeat it all the time. How well do you connect with your clients and customers? I don't care what you're selling. If you're selling me something that I have no need for, and you're trying to beat me to death because it seems like I'm resisting, right? Because I'm a no. All that's going to do is just send me to someone else in the future. I don't want that energy. If you're trying to sell me a stove and I don't need a stove, but if you can attune yourself to me and you say you like to cook a lot, right? Yeah. How many burners do you have? I have 4 burners. Have you ever thought about a 5 burner, a power burner? No, I've never thought about that, but I don't think I really need it.
Something
You
that
might
would
not
benefit
need.
their craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how well do you connect with the people you're talking to? And then when I say no, right? When I say no, how well do you stay afloat? How buoyant are you? Is that sinking your ship? Do you walk away because I said no? Your feelings hurt,
Yeah.
right? It didn't turn out. And then clarity. The last thing is clarity. Is how well do you curate the information by asking those questions, finding out that I probably could use a 5 burner stove or another bathroom in my house or a fitted hat would then put me in a position where I actually could benefit from our services and
Hmm.
come back looking for you over and over again. You know what I
I
mean?
I was in I was in the corporate world. You know, I managed like 25 to 50 properties, and for my service, I was always trying to scout properties, right? And sometimes I will stumble upon clients that just didn't want it, didn't want it. And no, 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 no. So my goal, and I know myself, I sometimes I'm not a outgoing person. If the more I'm away from people, the happier I am, right? But so I try to know my ups and downs, what I'm good at, what I'm not, and also just come out of my comfort zone.
Yep.
So I will come out of my comfort zone, and I already know that they don't want the service. So now I will, any detail that can describe a person, I will nip onto that, right? And now
Yep.
I build a relationship with them and just talking, whatever, boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, yeah, they don't want my services, but I have built a confident relationship, or I just ask them, "How's your day going? You all right? It's
Yep.
difficult this pandemic. You gotta stay safe and be a human being." A week later, they will call me back. Yeah, how I need a service, boom, boom, boom. And sometimes,
It's recognizing the difference between no and not yet. And when you say sometimes, that's the key, man. The key. Listen, I have worked with several of you, right? The property managers and people who have to manage multiple properties and multiple personalities and multiple, attitudes and things like that. And here I call you up and I'm like, me, my, I need. You don't care,
mhm,
right? I'm looking for a commission as far as you're concerned. If I call you up, man, and I connect with you, and maybe I don't close with you on this time. Maybe all that you hear is, I get it, I get it, I get it. You're busy, et cetera, no problem. And then I drop off some donuts to your office one day, or a box of Joe, just because. Hey, man, thanks a lot for just listening to me the other day, listening to my conversation. I appreciate it. Deuces. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I just wanted to say I appreciate you.
yeah,
Within weeks, I'm a part of your office, right? It's not just that. It's the key is what you said. You develop the relationship, and we have been programmed to believe that that part is the difficult part. That's not the difficult part. The difficult part is mastering our own brain,
mhm,
putting together our own mission, and dream, inspire, so that we can obtain anything that we want.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It just it like I work it. I use different language when I say it. Right? I'd say be, do, get. Right? Dream, inspire, obtain. Right? So if I was to break it down at the academy, if you have a dream and you can put that into action, right? You can put it into action. It's not just someday. It's not just abstract. This is who I am. I can paint the picture of my dream, right? That is how you are. That is your being. So you be that dream, and you will do the inspirational work. You will do the work necessary to obtain anything you want.
yes, yes. I meant to that. Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? So
yes,
so the academy was built out of the necessity to show folks that you don't need to get anything else in order to start. You don't need to have 2 years in the business to be a professional, right? The a doctor on the first day of being a doctor has more information and resources at their fingertips than I do at my best day at being an amateur diagnostician, right? Or
mhm.
whatever the hell they call it, right? Me looking on doctor.com,
Or
right?
WebMD.
WebMD or whatever, The doctor is going to be able to look at certain shit and just be like, oh, that's this. All you need to do is this. Right. Whereas I'm going to look at it and be like, I'm probably have to have that amputated and, shoot radiation into my eye. And
That's that serious.
it's not that serious. So the system, the role, and the process, dream, inspire, obtain, being, doing, and getting is the fundamental thing that any salesperson could use. It is in my opinion the cornerstone of good business, and I would endorse anybody who would start with that. Who would start with that. If I'm not saying to be arrogant and be like I don't need anything. There's a shit right between ego
Mm-hmm.
and empathy. There's a middle ground, and that middle ground is the perfect place for a salesperson. It's the ego drive. And the ego drive says that I understand what you want and I have the tools and resources if you want them.
Mm-hmm.
Se acabó, right? That's it, right? I just want to see if it makes sense for us to work together.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's straight to the point. It's not you're not
Yeah.
dancing around, and it's hard because when it comes to like selling bills and like that, sometimes people, like in my experience, they just want to be serenaded. They
Yeah.
want to be taken out. I had this situation in my previous employment, and so you're gonna have to give me a credit card because you're not reimbursing my money, and if
Yep.
you do, I gotta wait like 2 or 3 months for it. And sometimes these clients just wants to be serenaded.
That's
They
it.
want to be taken out to eat. They want to, and that's good, but not all the time. I like to be more little, direct.
Well, I tell you what. I think you're right. I don't think that we have to limit the serenade
Yeah,
to
agreed.
right. And so what I've learned is after having spent thousands and thousands of dollars on lunch and sitting in some weird ass bar, I drink expensive scotch, so if I'm sitting at a bar, I'm gonna go ahead and drink a 25 or something like that, or 43 or
Yeah,
whatever. Like I'm
I
gonna,
I'm
I'm
so
not, I'm
glad.
spending $80 on a glass,
I'm
right?
I'm so glad. They Heineken came out with that blue brand that has no thing, because I would go up to these meetings and it would just drink, and my tab will go up, and they're done. But because of the beer, I'll just keep drinking. It's like water, and I'll be
That's
good.
it, dude. I learned, and so this is a trick that I did. But then I'll go back to my point. I would buy an expensive glass of scotch because I'm not drinking it fast. I'm sipping it slow.
Mhm.
And I'll have one glass of scotch all night versus them with their 25 glasses of whatever the hell they're drinking or mixed drinks or anything. Anyway, so here's the thing. Here's what I've learned is that everyone wants to be serenaded, right? But everyone wants a custom song. No one wants the same song that you sang to the last person. And so the best thing for you to do is to get in their head by allowing them to teach you their song,
Mm,
right? And so
that's
I'm
beautiful.
sitting and I'm talking, you know, you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised what people want if you just shut up and listen. STFU and listen.
Yes, I meant to
Repeat the
that.
shit back to them and just ask more questions. And we grow like that, man. And it's a lot of fun for me to watch people's eyes light up when they start getting transformations on the phone, when they start getting conversions, when people start taking it. Your wife got a lead, an appointment, and a listing in the I'd say, last 15 to 20 days, right? And I watched her progress through that. And we struggle sometimes with our own, in our mind, our own inadequacy,
Hmm.
right? Oh my God, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? And then you get a jerk like me that gets on the phone with you and you're like, oh my God, I'm bugging out. How do I do this? I'm like, well, first of all, slow down because they don't know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So whatever you do is going to be better than what they could do. So,
I tell, like, I told my wife I have like this like fucking mode, right? And we're
mm-hmm,
like, I don't know, let's use this podcast, right? For example.
mm-hmm,
Uh, Before I did this, I've been doing this for like 2 months, 2 or 3 months. But I've had these ideas for several years, right? So, in those years, I've been investing in shit that I'm literally not using,
Don't
right?
need it.
Literally not using to create something perfect. But how do I know what perfection is if I've never done it? So, my wife has a different style. She stays there and thinks and thinks and thinks and thinks. And sometimes that thinking process becomes procrastination. Now, something that was supposed to be 1 week is now four weeks, right? So I just say fuck it and just do it. This
Just take
podcast,
action, man.
fuck it and just do it. And so,
Yeah.
and like you said, people don't know what just like you don't know. So fuck it, just do it.
Just do it.
Try to create what the best as you can and present it.
I was talking to one of my coach friends, and I was like, my fucked up video is better than your non-video.
Yes, 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 yes,
Them talking shit about my video is better than the responses you're not getting because
yes,
you don't have a video.
yes,
It's like the hater on my post is 10 times better than the love that you're not getting.
yes.
It's just that simple. It's actually scientific, man, and like I'm a nerd with this shit now, man, and it's crazy. It's a concept called shipping beats perfection. Shipping beats perfection. I don't know if you're into video games at all, but I got 5 kids, and so
Yeah.
some of them are gamers. So Cyberpunk came out, right? I don't know if your kids were excited.
Well,
I don't know how old.
I got a 4 years old. So
Oh yeah, no, you ain't there yet, right?
I,
So
I, I,
Cyberpunk.
I only play Batman. That's the only time I
Okay.
invest in a game.
So check it. So Arkham, the Revenge, or the latest Arkham is supposed to come out February 28th. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Well, whether they're finished with it or not, they ship it on February 28th because they said they would, right? And now what happens is the consumer gets it, right? The consumer gets it, and all of these updates are the first thing that happen as soon as you turn on the game. You got all these updates that happen, and they're like, oh my God, I got to wait a half hour, 45 minutes for these updates. The reason why is that they shipped it 80% complete and said, fuck it, let's see what they do with the game so we can complete it. Right? Cyberpunk, one of the most highly anticipated games in the world for Christmas. They delivered that thing the Christmas week, and everybody bought it Christmas week, and it was not even 80% complete.
Wow.
They shipped the game about 60% complete. Glitches and all this and that. There's whole YouTube channels about the Cyberpunk glitches. But you know what? They're the number one game in America. Number one game in America right now. And fuck it. Because we are who we are, man. It's there's no way to satisfy everyone. There's no way. I could have a 100% completed product, put it out there, and somebody would be like, what you should have done was made the letters blue behind you so I could have seen it a little bit. Like, fuck it, man.
Yeah. I agree. You're not gonna satisfy everybody. You're not gonna meet their expectations. So
in the academy,
yeah.
In the academy, we talk about it as the 90% no factor. The 90% no. What you talked about in the beginning and how, I need the no and I ignore the no. I need the no to grow. Okay, now we're starting to rhyme. But you know what I mean? That's like, I need it. So I'll give you a different example and then I'll shut the hell up, right? So if you and if you and I were still running around single, right? We were still out in the world trying to pick up women and this and that. I don't know. Don't get a chocolate thrown at your head, okay? No. Right? So if we was out in the world and we were single and we went into this bar, and the bar, 100% of the people in the bar were our type, they were eligible, they were dateable, and would be interested in dating a person like us, right? Like people like us, right? So we've got we got technically 100% success, right? Most of those fuckers in there are insane lunatics. We're not gonna really want to mess around. Like there's going to be 30% of the people there that for whatever, if we have 100% winning, right? If everything was equal, then we start looking at the micro details, like, oh, her eyes are too far apart or too close together, or one is up or one
Mm-hmm.
is, like, we start looking at stupid shit, man. Like, I don't like the green with the way that her hat looked. Like, and we start eliminating people based on subconscious stuff. 30% of the room going to get eliminated because they have a piece of grass in their teeth, or whatever is going on. Like they was wearing that perfume versus that perfume, and we can't even control our brain. 30% of the room are going to waste our time, and we're going to sit there like, oh my God, if I go out on a date with this chick, I'm never going to be able to talk. She's going to keep talking, or she's never going to say anything, or whatever. It's only going to be 10%. 10% that we could possibly be in a relationship, not just dating, but be in a relationship with. And that 10% is where the sweet spot of your business is. It's really only 7% because 1 to 3% are the lunatics on the other side of the game. They waited too long. They need you right now. Like they want to get married tomorrow. And like you're like, oh wait. And
Yeah.
you might still date them, but it's going to fizzle out. It's going to be a today deal. In this universe, in the sales universe, everyone is out looking for the today. Everyone is looking for the 1 to 3%. I'm looking for the 7%. I like to build a business over time. I like my 24-month cycle. I don't want to have to work so hard every day to create today's deals. I want today's deals to have been created 90 days ago.
You
100.
creating the longevity of that
Yes,
aspect.
sir.
You know,
Consistency is key.
yeah, I have that same mentality. I keep referring my wife because we have that person in common, and I would my business, my two businesses in real estate. I keep saying you don't want to, you want it to make longevity. That's the key. So you're able one day to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
Like I look at it like everybody who tries to hustle. There's nothing wrong with the hustle, but the quicker you hustle, the quicker it goes. That's
And
not
the
the
quicker
goal.
it burns.
Yeah,
Yes, you burn out.
yeah. You're
You
not.
know, it you know what my boy taught me, man? He's like, if you're out there every day, if we're talking about the hustle, if you're out there every day, you're hustling, grinding, yeah, you're getting more money than everyone else. Yeah, you're doing more things than everyone else. And you're also burning through your gas faster. And so you're going to break down. It's going to happen. And the good thing about our universe is a breakdown is I lose business for a little while. I got to recoup and things like that. A breakdown out in the world, you know, that could be catastrophic, right? And so what I tell people all the time, and this is going to sound funny, okay? So don't shoot me, right? This is going to sound really, really funny. I'm an asparagus farmer. That's what this real estate game is. I'm an asparagus farmer. People look it up. If you don't know anything about the world, asparagus farmers are the most paid agricultural farm in the world.
Wait,
It
hold
is
on.
also
You're. Are you speaking hypothetically, like using as a metaphor?
hypothetically, I'm using
Okay,
asparagus
got
as
it.
the example.
Got it. Got
But the example is key
it. Mhm.
because no other farm, you raise broccoli, you got to raise broccoli and cauliflower and this and that and the other thing in order to make your money. You're an asparagus farmer, you know the only thing you raise? Asparagus. Why? Because you plant it and it takes a year to grow. You cannot chop it, you can't harvest it before the end of that year. It's under the ground and it's growing and it's doing all this thing. Once it sprouts, you can't stop it. You got to harvest it 3, 4 times a day. That's how often so if you want a powerful example of this business, plant asparagus seeds, trust in the process, trust in the system, make sure you follow the system. You will not see any growth for X amount of time. You're going to be taking care of something that's not producing anything for X amount of time. But because you did that, once it breaks ground, once it starts producing, it will never stop.
Yes.
It will never stop. And that's who I am. I play with asparagus, man. I'm growing asparagus. There's so much harvest. If you just do your system, I've got agents that are complaining that they have too much business. I'll take that complaint every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Oh my God, say I gotta get an assistant. Oh, you do? Oh, but did you die? Oh,
I
okay.
did. I'm not sure if you ever met him. I had Scott Sumsell, who was a former.
Yeah, Samsel.
Yeah, I I think my 8 episode that just came out last week. This week, I had him there, and I told him in the podcast that, like, you know, these moments we go through as early beginners, entrepreneurs, we're gonna, at one point in our life, we're gonna miss it, because we're gonna miss that hustle, that struggle. We're gonna miss that because it makes us live. At one point, we're
It,
gonna,
it's it's fuel.
yeah. At one point, we're gonna be complaining. Our biggest problem is having too much money, right? Having too much success.
Can I
Trying to get out the limelight.
can I tell you, man? This pandemic happened and the world shut down and everybody panicked and everybody went, well, I'm gonna have to get a job or I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna do that. I have been dying to get into the cloud the right way for years. Forget EXP, forget this, that, and the other thing. I have been dying to make the platform more digital for years. I coach agents. I coach about maybe 1,000 agents a year, let's just say. That's 1,000 hours a week that I have to coach agents. Even if it's only half, that's 500 hours a week that I would have to coach agents if agents showed up to meetings, if they were actually responsible, if they were actually accountable. Most of the time they fall off, right? So I wind up coaching about maybe 50 agents a week at 25 hours a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. I get into the cloud, I'm coaching 1,000 agents a week in the same hour. It takes me 3-4 hours a week to do lead gen, another hour a night to do accountability. I'm coaching thousands of agents a month from the comfort and safety of my own office and effectively changing the world. Why wouldn't I do this? Let's
Yeah.
step to the next level and let's grow. And yes, brother, now when I tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I miss production. So I get on the phone as often as possible because I miss the interaction that you have with the clients and customers that you don't get from the manager broker perspective.
I feel you.
And you're absolutely correct. I agree with you
I
100%.
feel you.
Scotty's out there. Scott Samsell. He's another like real estate royalty. He uses his platform to help the world. He uses the platform to contribute. I'm sorry, I'm getting weird calls. I'm
No
trying to
worries. No worries.
turn them off at the same time. He uses his platform to donate money, to donate time, to donate energy to the community and things like that. He will not be able to help but to win,
Yes.
right? And he's another person that keeps attacking the fence from different locations to see where the weak spots are. Yes, he is like your wife. He is an analytical. And analysis sometimes leads to paralysis. But what I love about him is that he's also a sports dude. And in the end, you got to swing. You either got to swing or you don't
Yes.
swing.
Yes. That is
It's just
correct.
that's just it. When you're up to bat, you got to swing or you don't swing. If you don't swing, you're striking out the same way you would if you did swing and missed.
Yeah.
So you might as well swing.
Yeah. Correct. And he's doing amazing things with his foundation, and he's a really cool guy. Uh, but yeah, man, I told my wife I'm like a '90s movie. I go out with a bang.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna go out with a bang.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
and that's how I
go.
and that's how I carry my life. Because if there's so much like in this world right now, right? Let's take the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of people in the pandemic just saw it as finally a vacation. Fine, and if you listen to my previous episodes, anybody listening, I keep saying it. I keep saying it. I saw this pandemic as a blessing.
Yep.
It gave me the opportunity and the courage, and just give me the fucking say, just do it. Everything I want to do. This is the time to create what you want to do
Right,
and
right,
take
right.
advantage. And just fucking read a book or learn a new skill set. I keep bragging to people. I taught myself how to cut my own hair. Right.
Well, you know what? When you bald, you don't have no choice, man. So,
Well, at least your beard,
Yeah, my shit is tight, man. It's
yeah.
tight. Listen,
And
check this out, D.
yeah.
Check this out. 2020. There was a meme, and I started repeating this meme over and over and over again. If you've heard it before, then tell me who the hell created it, because I want to give them credit. It says that I thought 2020 was going to give me everything I wanted. Instead, it showed me everything I already had. And that right there, and there was a lot of loss in my family. There was a lot of, there was a lot of sick. I had it last February. I didn't even know. Last February, we didn't even know what it was,
Yeah.
right?
Me
And
too.
you know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, the family, right? And here's what 2020 did for me. 2020 illustrated. It's not that they taught me, because I knew this was a truth. I just never had it illustrated this way before, right? The cemetery is filled with unpublished works of art, right? If you wait to write that book, if you wait to trim that beard, if you wait to learn that language, if you wait to swim that channel or whatever, chances are death will catch you before you take
Yes.
that step, before you publish that book, before you paint that picture or take that photo. And I refuse to let that happen.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I dove in. I dove in. And
I
and look where we are.
Yeah, I look at 2020 as, and not to sound cocky, I want to thank my grandparents, because I grew up with my grandparents. I grew up with the elderly community. Those My older man was my best friend, not some 20-year-old. So I'm fortunate enough to listen a lot.
You got the game.
Yeah, and I told my wife, I was like, 2020 was everything that like, to her, everything I told you, from appreciating somebody, from being
Yep.
kind and everything, all that, shit. I told her that. But here's my problem. Like I told her, that nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wants to listen because one thing I hate, I dislike about people, and I do it myself because I'm guilty, is a person that tells you I know.
Mm.
Because if you know, then we wouldn't have had this conversation, because you know.
If you know, then you did it on purpose, and
Yeah,
now I gotta look at you different.
yeah. And I don't live my life like that. And
Right.
now a lot of people say I know, but this hit, you really don't know. So I saw this as a blessing, and now it's, work wise and incomes. I moved everything like it was chess. I suck at chess, but I'm fanatic. So everything's a pawn, and I was able to checkmate, and now I'm able to financially be stable for some
Yeah.
time until my dreams and aspiration and my passion are to need to be, and I'm putting the time in. So
Well,
I
I see you doing big things.
thank you.
I see you investing in the language that we use at the academy, right? Is invest in the business you want, not in the one you have. And so a lot of us saw the pandemic, and by us I mean humans, right?
Yeah.
Americans and things like that. A lot of us saw the pandemic, like you said, like a vacation, or a sick day, a sick month, a sick year, right? I'm just taking a day off, and I'm not going to do anything. What that did was that cleared the playing field for the hustlers.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that became evident during the pandemic. You know what? I'm at EXP, right? I'm at your wife and I are both at the same real estate company, right? I'm at EXP. You know what I learned at the pandemic? No one needs a desk.
Yes.
Like what the like like for real. And like, I got agents that, but such and such and such. I'm like, okay, tell me a dollar productive activity that you do at your desk at the office. Show me a dollar productive activity that you do at the office. And they're like, I lead generate. I lead generate from my house. I lead generate probably earlier than you, longer than you, and more effectively than you.
A real lead generates their hustle from their car.
Yeah, I could be in my car. I could be at Starbucks. You show me an agent that has to have a desk in order to produce, and I'll show you an agent that's not producing. And it's just that serious, right? And so I started looking at other things. I'm a controversial dude.
Hey, bring
I
the
don't think we
problems. I
need
love it.
brokers. I
Yes,
don't think we need brokers anymore.
I agree.
I
I
think
agree.
Google is our best broker.
Yes, yes, yes. I
I only reason I have a broker, forgive me, my broker, whatever. The only reason I have a broker is because I have to have one.
by law. It's like
That's it.
you look at your. Why do I have to have a boss when I could be my own boss?
Yeah. I don't need it. It's not necessary. I don't need it. So I guess the last thing that I would leave you with, because I got a boogie, the last thing that I would leave you with is that too many of us in the sales and entrepreneurial world get into our entrepreneurial spirit in order to avoid what we didn't like at work.
Yes.
But we still expect the results that we got from work. So we get into this business, we get into our own business and expect a paycheck every week. That ain't gonna happen. What you can expect is a return at the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, end of 5 years, end of 10 years. Like you can, if you are focused on the future, if you can build your business to the point where it is, when you wake up, every day you wake up to business that you started 90 days ago, then you have, my friend, a successful business. You are a successful salesperson and entrepreneur, and I salute you and I will support you. And we'll wave at the haters that tell you that you're making a terrible podcast or a terrible video or something like that. We'll wave at them.
So I know you got to go. You're a busy guy. Thank you for being on the show. But before you leave, tell everybody where we can find you. Give them everything.
All right.
Everything.
So I'm real easy. Sekou Pyle. You see the name there. If you can see it, SekouPyle.work is my digital business card. There's literally, it's like a link tree. Like everywhere you can reach me is there. If you're an agent and you want to start production right now, you want some accountability, find us. Yeah, find us in Facebook at Commitment to Capping, and you'll see it. It's a sexy thing there, right? And theappointmentacademy.com, theappointmentacademy.com, all one word. Every month we do an academy. This one that's coming up, I don't know when this is going to broadcast, but this one that's coming up is the March one. March 15th through the 19th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to make some money. The last academy, check this out, D. The last academy, we made over 350,000 contacts.
Wow.
Over 350,000 contacts. There were so many appointments set. Right now, wait, check this out. There was over 23 contracts written in 5 days.
Nice. Getting the job done, baby. Let's go.
So if each one is worth 10 grand on one side, if each one, you did one side and each one was worth 10 grand, that's $240,000, $230,000 in 5 days. Come on, let's go. Who wants it? Who wants some of that? Thank you so much, man, for putting me on.
Thank you.
And having me on. This is an honor. And yes, brother, and if you don't know now, you know, you got to come and kick it with us and bring it and dream, inspire, and obtain.
Yes. You tell me the day, I'm there. You tell me when, I'm there. Brother, say when, like you told me, say when.
Say when. That's it. I was like, say less. You want to have me on? Say less. What's up?
Yeah.
All right, I got a Boogie Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There, brother. Peace.
Later.